So this webinar will be about breaking down financial barriers. It has been organized by Greenway Europe, and it has been done in collaboration with the DECISO project. So without further ado, I think it would be great if we actually get started. Some technical aspects that I just wanted to mention before, actually starting this webinar is that it is going to be recorded, and that is going to be made available on different social media platforms, but mainly on the Greenway Europe YouTube channel. Of course, you all know that you should keep your microphone muted during the presentations in order not to create a hassle. And of course, all the questions that you might have, they must be addressed also in a written way, so you will have to open the chat and tell us about it. And of course, we would appreciate if you can manage to communicate about the webinar on social media by mentioning, of course, the InvestCEC project and the DECISO project, which is actually today with us. So you can find also our handles down here, if it might be of interest for you, and I think we can get started. So this is being recorded already, and I think now we can start. But before starting, I just wanted to give a very, very brief overview about the InvestCEC project, which is a project that has been actually funded also under the CCDRA umbrella next to the DECISO. And InvestCEC is basically a project that is leveraging on the city of Klagenfurt in Austria. So we have decided to come together to assess what are the needs in terms of circular economy of the city in Klagenfurt, to then actually launch a series of calls for entrepreneurs that are actually going to let us reach to different innovators that could answer to the needs of the city of Klagenfurt. And once they will be selected, we're going to work together with them in order to, let's say, give them the chances of being ready for investment. Because the fourth stage of this project is actually launching an investment model that is actually going to be for those innovators that will be selected from our calls for entrepreneurs. And the idea is that they could receive funding by private and public investors by the end of the project. So in a nutshell, what the project is willing to do, or is striving to do, is developing a replicable model based on pilot learnings. So the idea would be, of course, to see other European cities and regions replicating what we're trying to do in InvestCEC. And of course, supporting the city of Klagenfurt so that it can be a greener and a more sustainable region. So now the agenda, we're going to have the first speaker, which is actually going to be Raúl Sánchez Frances, the CARTIF. In Spain, and also some insights by Jorge Calvo Presa, also from CARTIF. They're going to be talking about how to overcome financial barriers in the circular economy. Then we're going to have Daniel Gerdes, actually coming from the DECISO project. So he comes from the Water Association of Oldenburg and Ostfriesland. Then we're going to have Sabine Herrmann representing the city of Hamburg. She's going to be diving on strategic frameworks for financial schemes. And then we're going to go down to Greece and West Macedonia with Kostas Karamarkos, representing the municipal district heated enterprise of the wide area of Amintaio. And then we're going to jump to Rosa Onofre, which is actually going to be talking about circular agri-food business models. So this is the agenda. This is going to be a fruitful webinar, so now we can jump to the first speaker, who is going to be Raúl Sánchez Frances from CARTIF. So the floor is yours, Raúl. You can share your screen.
Yeah, thank you very much, Joseph, and thank you everybody for attending the webinar. I'm going to share my screen, so please let me know if you can see my screen. Sorry, it's okay. I'm trying to go. Can you see my screen? And
yes,
maybe
I can see it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me introduce my company. My entity CARTIF is just some words, of course. CARTIF is a technology center in Spain, located specifically in Valladolid, near Madrid, in the center of Spain. You have, as you can see in the slide, we have a very wide expertise in the context of European project from different approach, from Horizon Europe or 2020 project to live projects and Interreg or something like this. So CARTIF also has a very huge facilities regarding laboratories or something, or this kind of building or facilities. All of them related always to circular economy and circularity of processes. As you can see, also we have we can work in the agri-food test production, materials, biomass, water, wastes, and another kind of products. And also we have a specific nature-based solution laboratory in which we can test different solutions regarding circular economy and the sustainability of processes, also from regional, national, and international level, and this is our main features as a technology center. Sorry. We work specifically in the natural resources and climate area, and regarding our specific topics in which we are working on, we work in the naturalization of places or cities. We also work on agroforestry sector, biourbanism, air quality, and technology and technology or agroecology aspect related to technology. As I mentioned before, all of them related always to the circularity and circular economy approach. So we work in developing byproducts, origenomic solutions, water, air quality. And our relevant projects, just some picture about this. We work on a project related to agroecology, related to climate change. Also to work, we work on projects related to reuse of products and waste byproducts in order to develop another byproducts. We are working in the Phenorexa project or Supera project in order to improve natural processes and in order to develop new products. Sorry. Well, and specifically regarding to InvestCEC project, we work on numerous projects related to, as I mentioned before, circular economy or circularity approach. In this case, working from the reuse of resources to generating new business models and promoting entrepreneurs' activities. All of them always specifically in our region related to agriculture approach or something like this. So, and specifically in the InvestCEC project from the very beginning, if you remember, Joseph and the rest of partner of the project, we proposed to work developing the initial methodology to establish the process of development of InvestCEC replicable model for, of course, implementing circular economy in cities in region. This methodology, of course, we needed to change some aspects of this methodology because there were some modification regarding to the progress of the project. But initially, we based this methodology in two different phases. The first one was the addressing financial barriers. I think that is essential when we want to establish or to generate new business model or circular economy models. It's it's essential to identify the financial barriers in order to try a solution for them. So and this addressing and this financial and this address or financial barriers were based on the identification of the main stakeholders regarding circular economy and how we are going to link these stakeholders with other sectors And finally, we wanted to generate, or we are working to generating a catalog of solutions for these barriers, strategies, measures, solutions. Okay, different aspects. And the second phase, where it was and is the testing of these solutions among the consortium partners or experts, and also among the stakeholders, among the stakeholders of the project. This is the way we conceive this, and the essential way to establish the final replication of the methodology of the project. The methodology of the model of the project, and finally the exploitation of this specific model, InvestCEC model. And I think that this is the final slide, just to comment about our area team. We are a very multidisciplinary team, engineer, biologist, many people working on this, on the aspects I commented before, but all of us working to promote circular economy and the circularity of processes. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Raul. I think we can jump to your colleague, Jorge Calvo.
Okay,
So
let me change the presentation. 1 second, please. Sorry.
One moment.
1 moment, please.
it's all right.
Yeah. Now. Okay. Sorry. Is this? No, is this? Sorry, this is here. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to share again my screen, so please let me know if you can see the screen. I guess you are watching my screen.
We can see it. We can see it.
No, sorry.
Thank you.
Here, okay.
Thank you, Raul. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jorge Calvo from CARTIF, and thank you for inviting me to the second part of the InvestCEC web series breaking down financial barriers. The agenda for this presentation will include an introduction, a description of the main financial barrier in the circular economy, and their possible solutions, some success stories, and finally some conclusions. It's important to address the uncertainty regarding the benefits and profitability of circular practice to overcome financial barriers in the transition to a circular economy. Adopting circular business model may face financial challenges, especially for small and medium-sized companies with limited resources. And we must change the current economic focus that prioritizes short-term profits over long-term sustainability. The 4 main categories of barriers commonly identified in circular economy are technological barriers due to lack of design knowledge, especially in SMEs, and the adoption of new technologies. Institutional barriers due to global economic integration with different political approaches among countries. Social and cultural barriers caused by business culture resistance to change and insufficient collaboration along the value chain. And finally, economic barriers, including market deficiencies, insufficient demand, limited financing circular business model, high implementation cost, and low prices of raw material.
I think you're muted. Jorge, I think you're muted.
Now?
Yeah, it's perfect. Go ahead. Sorry.
But did you hear our? previous.
You should start again with the slide because you were muted for some reason. So start again, please.
Okay. So we can
But just
continue.
this one, it's fine.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
This slide provides an overview of the main financial barriers to overcome which I will explain below. Investment in the circular economy, lack of pricing of externalities, valuation in the circular economy, financial instruments, investment risk, lack of financial support, high initial investment cost, uncertain return on investment, and limited demand and market prices. Okay. In relation to investment in the circular economy, investors are very diverse. For example, pension funds and other institutional investors, including large family funds, tend to invest for the long term. On the other hand, investors such as private equity and venture capital funds often have a shorter time horizon. Investment in the circular economy requires valorization of obtained products, waste reduction, opportunities for innovation and investment, and resources efficient, leading to cost savings. Possible solutions to address the barrier to investment in the circular economy are indicators will be economic and business indicators, changing the mindset of investors, small private investment, incorporating circular practice at company level, and reducing environmental risk. Another financial barrier is the lack of pricing of externalities. In the circular economy, there are externalities both positive and negative. Negative externalities hide the true cost of products and environmental impacts, especially in terms of greenhouse gas emission. Other negative externalities will include depletion of resources, waste, data availability in implementing the circular economy, and investment barriers. A possible solution will be use of grants, specific tax benefits to incentivize circular economy practice, and tax reduction. Valuation practice in the financial sector refers to the methods and techniques used to determine the value of financial assets. In valuation practice, the most significant factors affecting circular economy companies are financial risk assessment and valuation and pricing tools. The circular economy can be a catalyst for unlocking opportunities, and several ways in which a circular economy creates new opportunities are designing products for a long lifespan, recycling companies, and driving innovation, improving design. In this slide, we will show a case of success within the evaluation of the circular economy. Patagonia is an outdoor clothing company committed to environmental sustainability. They have implemented several initiatives to promote circularity, such as the Workwear program, which encourages customers to repair and recycle their clothing. Patagonia has overcome financial barriers by leveraging their brand values and engaging customers in sustainable practice, extending the life cycle of their products and customer loyalty. Regarding financial instruments in the circular economy, some forms of financial, both public and private, can be negative for the implementation of the circular economy. Also, there are other financial instruments that can facilitate the transition to a more sustainable circular model. Some examples of this financial positive model are present below. Circular business model where products are designed to be durable, generating income not only from sales, but also from services and recycling. Extended producer responsibility, where producers are responsible for the entire life cycle of their products, which motivates them to design more replicable products. Green bonds and sustainable financing, financial instruments for environmentally sustainable projects, such as circular in manufacturing practice and supply chains, and circular economic funds, financial institutions that support circular business by allocating capital. Other barrier is the risk of investing in the circular economy. Some of the strategies that can be followed to reduce the risk in the circular economy investment will include decoupling economic growth from resource consumption, reduce risk related to resource shortage and price volatility, implement public policies focused on resource efficiency, create sustainable wealth through natural resource management, diversify business model and anticipate stricter regulation, and integrate the circular economy into risk models to maximize the return potential of the investment. The absence of external financial support can have several adverse effects on circular economy projects. For example, it hinders the development and potential impacts of circular economy projects, involves innovative approaches, resource management, recycling, and sustainable design, limited R&D fundings, and some cities and regions don't have sufficient financial resources, which is a major barrier to help entities move away from the linear economy. There are different ways to overcome this barrier. Increasing government funding and incentivize, developing innovative funding mechanisms, and with economic initiative through policy. The initial costs associated with circular economy initiative are significant factors that can influence the adoption and success of circular practice. And this cost can hinder companies, especially a smaller one, in acquiring new technologies or adopting facilities. The financial sector is recognizing the circular economy as a strategic an approach to addressing global problems, increasing business competitiveness in the long term. Some strategies to mitigate this cost are public. Next. Before.
Other one.
Before. Next.
Oh.
Are public-private partnership, government incentives and grants, circular economy funds and financing programs, collaborative financing models, phases implementation and pilot projects, supply financing and collaboration, and technology partnership licensing. Next. Other success case will be company TerraCycle. Company knows for innovating recycling solution for hard to recycle materials. They partnered with banks to collect and recycle items such as snack wrappers and beauty product packaging. TerraCycle has overcome financial barriers through partnership and sponsorship with major brands. Uncertainty about returns is one of the main risks for investment in the circular economy. Investors seek predictable financial outcomes and may demand higher risk premiums. Because of this, companies may be discouraged from investing in innovative circular technologies. Uncertain returns can also lead to longer payback periods and raise doubts about the overall viability of circular economy projects. With a possible solution, active engagement with stakeholders to build trust, demonstrate positive environmental and social impact of circular initiative, potential financial benefits can also impact and reducing uncertainties and attracting investment. Market demand and prices depends on consumers' willingness to pay more for sustainable and recycled products, with challenges such as difficulty establishing competitive prices. High prices can make a circular practice more expensive. On the other hand, price restrictions might limit the availability of circular raw materials, product costs, and market for reuse products is usually tends to be limited. And possible solution will be develop policies that encourage circular practice, invest in R&D, create new circular business model, and finally, conclusions. Several challenges have been identified. High initial investment costs, access to capital, especially for small firms and startups, lack of dedicated financial instrument, and the other hand, possible solutions to financial barriers provides many benefits to companies, improving resource efficiency, optimization, saving costs, and minimizing voiced. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jorge. So that was basically an overview of a very, very long report that we have actually produced on circular economy barriers and how to break them. I'm adding here in the chat actually a section that we have dedicated on our website with resources. And if you just go in there, you can just scroll down and, of course, get to know more about everything that our colleagues from CARTIF have told us. So you're more than invited to go there and see around what we have been doing. I think that now is actually time to jump to the other speakers coming from the DECISO project. So we're going to jump to Germany now with Daniel Gerdes. So the floor is yours now.
Perfect. Thank you, Joseph. And also thank you to the previous presentation. It was very interesting, also from our side. In the meanwhile, I'll try to share my screen, and please let me know if you can see the presentation.
Yes, I can see it, and I guess everyone does too.
Perfect. Yeah, well, thank you for inviting us to today's webinar. We would like to take the opportunity to talk a little bit about the DECISO project. I'll give you a brief overview of what the project is about, and after me, as you already know, the other pilot regions will also talk a little bit about their specific pilot. The DECISO project is similar to InvestCEC, also under the CCDRA banner, funded as a coordination and support project where we work together with a total of 10 partners, of which 4 are pilot regions. So we have 4 specific regions where we are looking to induce more investment in circular economy initiatives. The scope of the project, as I said, is the delivery of services to induce investment projects for developing circular economy at a local and a regional scale. And DECISO will support these kind of projects by presenting services that can assist by the project development and also getting these business cases or projects ready for investment. Within the DECISO project, as I said, we have 4 specific thematically defined pilot regions, pilot projects. So there is not a thematic common or a thematic red line across all the pilot projects, which of course is a bit of a challenge sometimes in the project as well, but also makes the project, I think, a lot more diverse and also allows for a spread of more interesting lessons learned across the pilots. The 4 pilots are located across the project area. We've got 2 pilot projects in Germany, one in Portugal and one in Greece. Just to give you a little bit of orientation in terms of the thematic orientation, Hamburg is focusing on strategic frameworks for financial schemes. In Greece, we're focusing on decarbonization and post-lignite transition. Within Portugal, we're focusing on circular agri-food business models. And the pilot that I'm also responsible for in Northwest Germany, we're looking to optimize rainwater management. These are the 4 themes in which each pilot region tries to organize or implement circular economy investment projects at the local scale. And similar to InvestCEC, we are also looking to develop a PDA model that can then be reproduced across other regions, of course. We are currently at a stage where we have defined the first 2 steps and also worked with them extensively, and they are now prepared in deliverables for the project. And the other 2 steps are coming up in the next deliverables. The first step in our PDA structure is that there is a needs assessment where all the pilot regions go through a definition of opportunities and barriers for CE initiatives in the pilot regions. And the second step, pilot regions will define a program and corresponding actions that will need to be taken and achieved to actually achieve the ambition that they have defined in the program. And this program will then define what they want to achieve over the course of the project and also beyond. After the program actions and the ambitions were defined, it's important that for actually implementing CEC projects, the right mix of support services will be identified. And then the projects get more of a concrete context and can also be molded into a specific and concrete business case. Now, within the project, we have different organizations that can provide services in 3 distinct areas. One would be in the financial support, one will be legal support and risk support. And within the project at the moment, we're actively working on actually more defining more concretely what these services then will look like, and also how they can be made of use for the challenges and opportunities that we have identified in the first steps of the PDA structure. The last point in the PDA structure would be that we get these projects or business cases and make them ready to be pitched for investment, or to make them ready that they can apply for, as the previous speaker also identified, grant funds that are offered at different skills, local, national, or even European grant funds that are made available for such projects. That's as much as I wanted to go into the DECISO project. Now I would like to give you a brief overview of the Northwest Germany pilot that is focusing on optimizing rainwater harvesting projects. Within the DECISO project, as I said, we did an analysis of different strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities, or as the previous speaker said, the barriers that you have for implementing projects. So what we found in Germany is that we have very fragmented responsibilities with regards to the rainwater harvesting industry. We have a lot of different institutions and authorities that are actually responsible for different parts of the chain, so to say. And this has been identified as a difficult factor for actually getting projects off the ground. And in addition to that, cheap water prices also have been identified as a big barrier, specifically with regards to the low returns on investment because of this. Even in northern Germany, although it might be perceived as a very wet region, we also have groundwater shortages during the summer times. And this causes us to actually invest in these circular economy initiatives and start harvesting rainwater and be more conscious about this. However, even though there are cheap water prices and also the returns on investments are very slim, there are also a few strengths and opportunities we identified. The increased awareness among people because of a few big rainwater flooding incidents in Germany has taken up, resulting in a bigger willingness of the regional authorities to actually start looking into alternative solutions for actually rainwater harvesting. And on the other hand, there's also a lot of good practice examples already available. So we're not relying that much on innovation and new products to be brought to the market, but we are more depending on actually finding the right finance to implement these solutions. As I said, we defined different programs for each of the pilots. So for us, the program works around 3 core actions. That would be finding strategic agreements with big water customers in our region. We know there are a lot of bigger customers that are also looking to expand, to increase their water usage. And what we want to do is to, start talking to them, understand what the plans are, and to understand if we can actually supply them with rainwater and work towards tailor-made solutions for these bigger industrial clients. The other point would be finance, so securing new financial sources to actually launch these projects, and networking, where we are looking to gather more lessons learned from other regions, and also after the project get our lessons learned out to other regions in Germany and the regions that are also struggling with water shortages. I'll go into these actions a little bit more in the next few slides. So the strategic agreements has been one of our bigger tasks during the course of the project. We've conducted a lot of interviews with these bigger customers to really understand what the quantity, but also specifically the quality requirements are, to actually break the ideas that most of our customers have, that the rainwater can, for example, not be used for food or paper production. However, we find that the quality is rather good, and even a tailor-made solution with, for example, a containerized treatment unit is something that some of our bigger customers are actually interested in. The financial resources, as I said, it's a bit difficult for us to work with venture capitalists and private funds because we are a public authority, and as such, we have mainly focused on applying for grant funds, whether this is regional, national, or European. By now, we have already secured one grant fund for a national project focusing on alternative water resources for hydrogen production, where rainwater is currently being considered, among other water resources. And in addition to that, we have a few other grant funding applications that have been submitted in the first few months of this year. And the last point that is, the signature is still wet on this. It's been signed a few weeks ago, where one of our bigger customers actually signed a cooperation agreement that we are now looking and also investing in finding a tailor-made solution for one of the bigger water users in our region. The last point, the networking bit, we found that even though we are now investing in a few projects in our region, we want to also focus more on what is going to happen even after the lifetime of the DECISO project. And this made us organize a working group with other rainwater agencies from Germany, where we are now exchanging ideas and experiences, because we think that with the theme of rainwater, we want to further institutionalize the service that we offer to the region. And this can be molded into something like an agency, but the exact organizational form that we want to have, or that we want to build, we're not quite sure about yet, and therefore this project offers very good networks from which we can draw a lot of experience to understand what's the best fit for us and what will be the best way forward with regards to a rainwater agency. This is everything I wanted to say about my presentation, and I think Sabine will be the next one to present her pilot project.
Yes, thank you very much, Daniel. So that was Daniel Gerdes from the Water Association of Oldenburg and Ostfriesland. It's very interesting what he said about finance, and in all the CCDRA projects, at some point we talk about finance and how we can actually connect investors to the solutions developed. So yeah, congratulations on the grant you got, by the way. And I hope that you'll manage to continue securing funding for the next one you have applied to. I think that we can actually move now to Hamburg. So Sabine Herrmann will be representing the city of Hamburg. So Sabine, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Thank you, Joseph. I hope you can hear and see me properly. I'm sitting in an perfect. I'm sitting in an old shopping mall today because we're live here at the opening of our pop-up circular hub, which is opened right now in this moment. So I hope the connection will be stable. But so let me see. I will share my screen. Now you can see. I think you should see. Now, can you see the presentation? Yeah, perfect. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I would like to share with you some insights from our Hamburg pilot. As Daniel already showed you the map of our 4 pilots. So we are located in Hamburg, and yeah, let's just jump right into our program. So one of the things we learned from our SWOT analysis was that there is a like a physical place missing in the city where circular economy is shown to the public, where people could connect, where ideas could be shared, where information could be gathered about financing, for example. And we have now the opportunity here to open the pop-up circular hub, which might be a hub for a longer time, but right now we have it until, or we are opening it until the end of this year. With a co-working station where we transform an old 90 years office into until the end of the year into a circular office. We have an exhibition place where we inform people about what is circular economy, what are projects, what are startups doing here in the city, what is already done. And also we invite people to interact in this exhibition, to share their ideas, to network, because what we found out is that there's a lot going on in the city on different levels, but people are not connected very well. So a lot of loose ends are there. So we want to try to connect them. We have an open lab microfactory here with 3D printers to show people how a small factory could be in the heart of the city, because we are directly opposite, located directly opposite of the main station. So this is a very central place. And we will have events here like workshops and panel discussions. We have today also, we are announced the World Circular Economy Forum side event today. So we will have workshops regarding finance, because there are quite some funding opportunities, but people don't know about them, or they're not well informed. So this is also something we would like to tackle with this pop-up circular hub. So this is one activity. The other one, because we are working on the strategic frameworks, we have a Hamburg climate plan, which is updated on a regular basis. Circular economy is one topic there, but of course could be more, could be more in the climate plan. There is a circular economy strategy at the moment established. Just yesterday we had a workshop with a lot of actors from the circular economy community in Hamburg. Hamburg is there also a model city or pilot city in a cooperation project together with on a national level with German Institute for Urbanistics, and this is led by City of Hamburg, the Ministry of Environment. And at the end we would like to have a circular economy strategy. We are just like in the beginning now and see how this is moving on. But this is regarding the strategic frameworks. And we have, since our pilot is not focusing on like one specific sector, we have different sectors which we think are very important, also from the financial point of view for our city. For example, the furniture sector is very important. We as a public authority are spending lots of money for new office furniture every year. So we have right now an ongoing project. It's called Circular Economy Office. It's an Interreg project with Hamburg partners, and also the lead partner is from Hamburg, our Institute for Innovation and Climate Protection and Circular Economy. And we have, together with this partner and together with some partners from the DECISO project, we submitted an application not only for office furniture, but for like the whole furniture sector. So this is one topic we want to further to boost in Hamburg. We have another sector where we are also quite active. This is circular construction. We are working together with partners here. We have another EU project called KARMA, which is focusing on policy instruments for circular construction. And so also, of course, the construction sector has a huge impact. And so those are the two like sectors we are kind of focusing on. And yeah, that's all from my side, a short insights. If you have any questions, please ask your questions now, because after that I have to go to the opening, to switch to the opening. But thank you for your attention, and I'm very happy to answer your questions.
Sabine, thank you very much for this presentation. I think it was really interesting to see all the things that you guys are doing in Hamburg. I didn't know all of this, to be honest, and it's actually different just to go on the website and see what you're doing. But you know, the work behind the scenes, I guess that is really a lot. So yeah, anyways, so if someone has got any questions, please just address them in the chat, because as Sabine said, she has got to go in a few minutes. So this is basically your time to we have got one. So how do you successfully bring diverse stakeholders on board, given that they are frequently having different objectives and goals? What strategies have proven effective in fostering collaboration among such varied groups?
Yeah, it's not so easy to bring the different stakeholders together, but like we are like here in this pop-up circular hub, we have 5 different organizations. So we have 2 universities on board. We have this Institute for Circular Economy on board. We have Fab City on board, and us as like the public institution. And so we are going to, like, since we all come from different organizations, we already all have our different stakeholder groups or communities, which we are bringing together here in this hub. And also with like different events focusing on different stakeholder groups, different with different topics. That's how we try to get everyone on board. But to be honest, in such a big city, there's a lot going on which we might not know about. So, but we hope with this very central place here in really in the heart of the city, with also a lot of other like we have 5 floors here, and we are on 1 floor, and there are also art exhibitions and different other activities going on. So we try, I think a lot of different people will visit this place here and get to know about circular economy, about our project. And since we try to do this as interactive as possible, we hope to get the different stakeholders on board. But of course, it's a hard work, of course.
I can imagine. Well, thank you for that answer. I think it's very complete. I was thinking, of course, it will be very hard to bring everyone on board. So if anyone has any other questions, this is your time. In the meantime, I'll ask you a question because I'm very interested. I know I'm the moderator and I should not maybe, but how about citizens? Are you really managing to bring people involved and actually follow what you're doing? Because what happens very often in European projects is that we're working, we have a target, and of course we have different target groups, but we often forget or overlook the importance of bringing, citizens involved because they're basically the ones who are going to be benefiting directly, from what we're trying to do, let's say at the European level with this kind of project. So how about citizens? Are they really participating? Are they coming to this place?
Yeah, I think since circular economy is not a very well-known topic among citizens, as we realized, we have also events here for like the general public. I mean, all events here are for like open for everybody, but like 2 weeks ago we had a big opening day for the whole building here, so a lot of people came and they wanted to see the art exhibition, or they wanted to have a workshop with their kids, but they have to pass by our exhibition, and then we were talking with them about circular economy and try to explain what we are doing. And we are here until the end of this year, so quite some month. And since the place here is very, very central, free of charge, people are coming to see what's going on here, and this is where we try to grab them and talk about circular economy. But of course, bringing citizen on board is also not so easy, but we try with this like open space to involve them also with interesting workshops about 3D printers, microfactory. So people who are interested in those topics are coming and joining. So yeah, let's see what the next month bring for and how many citizens we can get involved here. I hope many.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Sabine. So yeah, there was Sabine Herrmann representing the city of Hamburg. It was great to see what they're doing there. So I guess everyone is invited to go and see if you happen to stop by in Hamburg. Anyways, have a lovely day, Sabine, and thank you for participating. I know you've got to go.
Yeah, I have to go, and thank you, Joseph, and also for your interest. And please contact me for any further question. Thank you.
Bye, Sabine. So now we can actually jump to West Macedonia in Greece with Kostas Karamarkos. He's going to be representing the municipal district heating enterprise of the water area of Amentaio, if I'm not mistaken. So
Amindon, yes, thank you.
Amindon, sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to share my screen too. And hopefully you can see it.
Perfectly, thank you.
Perfect. So since Daniel presented also the framework of that is more or less the same for all the pilots of the DECISO project. And then we had a different topic presented by the woman speaker that has to go. I will be very brief since we are lucky in the DECISO to have a very specific and clear pilot project that is also managed to be funded from Greek funds. So I will directly represent you what is this pilot project, the main content, and what is its connection with the circular economy. So working as external experts with the municipal district heating company. It's a municipality company, and this is the description of this entity that works under the private law for private benefit nature, having a statutory purpose of producing thermal energy. It's a district heating company, or also the co-production of energy from units like boilers using biomass and distribution of the final product to the citizens. This is the main purpose and the only purpose of this specific municipal company. Now, coming to our pilot project, the title, as you can see on the screen, is actions, specific actions for the energy utilization of agricultural biomass, other possible biomass residues, and other residual streams for the biomass district heating unit of Amindo. As I mentioned earlier, we have a clear budget for this pilot project that is 1,350,000 euros, and on the screen you can see the premises of the company located in the northwest part of Greece, close to the border of Northern Macedonia. And you can see also some of the vehicles bringing the raw material to the premises of the company. There are three and core actions included in the pilot project. The first one is consulting services. That is what we match with the DECISO project, is the PDA services that Daniel mentioned in his presentation. Then we have a second and the biggest action, that is the supply of the equipment. And finally, based on this equipment and also the services that the PDA team produce, we will have the installation of this equipment and all the needed technological conversions that need to be done in the factory. Now, why did we choose this specific pilot project? First of all, I don't know if you are informed that the Greek National Energy and Climate Plan that is recently updated foresees the end of any use of lignite by 2028 the latest, meaning that all connected units like the one in Amindo that used the lignite for the production of district heating has to find alternative solutions. And for the DETEPA, it was very clear that this direction was also the only way out of this, following with this decision. So that's why the company identified and worked in this direction and have already managed to secure the funding of this pilot project. Now, the contribution to circular economy local plan is, of course, because the pilot project is focusing on residues of agricultural origin. The area is totally agricultural around Medion. And of course, other residual streams with the aim of being raw material for the DETEPA's thermal energy production units. Now I have another slide regarding the same issue, the contribution to circular economy local plan, is that the actions of energy utilization of agricultural biomass and other possible residual streams for the biomass district heat unit of Amido is a clear and a key pillar of the implementation of the principles of the circular economy. And now this is the last slide. When will the project be finished and set in operation? This is foreseen until the end of 2025, or maybe if we have some kind of delays in the open calls, the first months of 2026. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kostas. I don't remember if you said that you have to go as well, or can you stay and take the questions later? Okay, so the questions will come later. I think we can actually jump now to Portugal with Rosa Onofre. So you can share your screen. She's going to be talking about circular agri-food business models. This is basically working for the regional coordination and development of the Commission in the city. So go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting us to be in this meeting. I think it's very important, and I like to thank you also the previous presentation, mainly from our partner from Jorge Calvo. I think it was very interesting because we have more or less the same conclusions For instance, he talked about financial instruments, the lack of financial instruments to circular economy, the valuation in the circular economy, and the lack of financial support. And this is the main issue in our project. It's about the financial support. So Alentejo is one of the regions involved in the DECISO place. You saw what happens in Hamburg. And here you can see that Alentejo is more than 1/3 of the Portugal as landscape, but we have only 7% of inhabitants, which it's a very challenge for us to involve the stakeholders and involve the people around the circular economy issues. We are all spreads and we are very few. So, and many of our companies have an average of 2.6 people by company. So it's a very micro companies. And this is an additional challenge for us. I didn't saw this as a problem, but as an opportunity and a challenge for the region and to introduce the circular economy. Our focus is the agri-food because it's our main sector in Alentejo region, and I think it's cross country to all the regions in Europe. The agri-food, it's a very important sector, and what we're trying to do is to introduce the circularity in those small companies and give them the notion that the circular economy, it's more than waste and more than energy. So the CCDRA is a regional entity with regional and sectoral competencies. We are like kind of right arm from the government, and our president is elected by the municipalities, but we need to give our responsibilities to the government. And we have to introduce the circularity in the region. We create the Forum for Circular Economy. Our forum is a place where anyone who wants to join us will join. We have 2 meetings a year and we talk about circularity. And it is very important because with this forum, it brings new projects and new perspectives about the circularity and about the issues. For instance, we have forums dedicated to olive trees, and it became 2 projects for energy. So we here make all these connections and try to incentivize and to spread the circular economy in the region. And we have also a large traditional in planning process about the sectoral, strategic and planning process. So this is our main entities. So what was our challenge is how to involve the private sector in the process. And as you can see, it is very transversal. We started, it has been a process which the project DECISO, it's been very important. We start with communicate to our partners from the forum, the project, and that we intend to introduce the circularity and to give some highlights about the importance of the circularity in the companies. So we spread the word. And we understand that it is very important, the collaboration with the business associations. They know what kind of entities and what kind of companies can be more open and are interested in the process. We need to start with someone who are already interested and then bring the others by the similar challenge they have. And then in the region, we try to understand what kind of entities and companies about agrobusiness who are in the region and where they are, because as you can see, it is a very big region. So it's important to make the things that everyone can reach it. We are not in a city, we are in a big region. We travel more than 400 kilometers for you have unimagined about what the distance between the companies. And it's important that the companies which are in the north of our region understand that have the same problems that are in the south of the region. And then we have some meetings and workshops about circular economy and try to understand what kind of expectations they have about the subject, because we saw that it's very important not only bring the people to the meetings, but try to give what they need, try to reach them with something added, because they are, if they are two people in a company, if one of them came to the meeting, they need to bring something to the company because they make profits, and this has been a challenge. And for that, the circular economy, the DECISO, has been very important to join the people and to understand what kind of needs they have. So in the DECISO project, we made as Ed already said, the PDA and the SWOT metrics about the agri-food in the region. We try to understand what are the main barriers and what are the main opportunities the agri-food sector have in the region with such different entities. So this has been the process until now, and the next steps we're trying to commit and improve the collaboration between entrepreneurs, investors, and the policymakers. Why? Because we saw that the main challenge is the subjects related to the permissions and how to reach the finance schemes. So the big objectives of our pilot is to identify supporting financial schemes, mainly for the circularity and to introduce the circularity. And that is a big challenge. And we try to find the best solutions to the needs of the companies, because they are very small. Sometimes it's not the amount of the money it's needed, but small money, but directed to the needs of the companies. And we are going to make some meetings with entities which are responsible for permissions, and to identify the entities which are responsible for financing schemes, which are, and try to make a match between the companies and the companies we've said the needs they have, and the entities who can support them. And we're going to have an info day related to finance schemes under the DECISO project, and this is going to the needs that was identified by the companies, but specific financing schemes for their needs. And then we're trying to understand which kind of companies and what companies have potential to apply to the calls, and we're going to support them to develop a business models. So this is all the process that we have in the pilot. And I was focusing the private sector because they are the keys for the introduction of circularity in the project. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Rosa. It was also very, very interesting to see how such a big region is managing to tackle this agriculture, let's say, advancing of circular economy practices. I just have one question again. You talked about the private sector and how difficult it is to actually bring all the companies involved. I work for a cluster, so I also have to deal with different types of stakeholders, and those are very complicated sometimes because you need to understand the reality of companies. SMEs are very different. Just the change of actually having 2 more employees can make a big difference. So how are you managing in your region to actually bring them involved, knowing that they are so different?
We have a particular help from the business association, because they bring their their companies to the process. So that was one very important step. We not involve only the companies, but we involve the business associations. We already know the difficulties and how to engage the companies. So this was a very important process for us, but we don't have so many companies as we wish. We are trying now. It's in the beginning, but I think it's very important, and we saw it's very important because the same companies came again. So it's because we give them what they need, what they expected. They understood they don't come here and have already all the solutions, but they can share their problems and they can share with the entities which can give the solution. So that is a very important thing. And we hope with this process, despite the distance, we can manage to bring more companies to the process. That's what we try to achieve.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your answer, and of course, good luck. Now I would like to jump to the questions. So if you have any questions, this is your time to actually start writing them in the chat. But just before we continue, I just would like to let you know that this was the last webinar of this season. The next two webinars of this thematic webinars organized by the InvestCEC project are actually going to take place in fall. So adding here on the chat our LinkedIn page. Please go and give us a follow if you have not yet, so that you can keep up and, of course, register for the next webinars that are going to take place in fall. Now we can jump to the questions, and we have one for Rosa already. It's, have you shared the process of engaging companies and stakeholders in the Alentejo region? What specific measures, strategies are being taken, and what strategies have shown success?
Well, we didn't have already a success because we are start the process, but our main strategy is connected directly with the companies that we know with how. First, we try to understand where they are and who are they. So we try to bring them, and through directly to the companies and also through the business association. And this started a few months ago. We have repeated companies, and when in the end, for instance, at this year, we hope are able to show how we could involve more companies in the process. And probably one of the strategies that we are trying to do, we are going to try to do, it's not bring the companies to here, but we go to the companies in the regions where they are. So as you could see, we have 4 regions, and probably the most simple way it's go to them, because the distance it's very large and we take 1 day to go and came for a meeting of 2 hours. Sometimes the companies don't have time enough and money enough to do this, so it's much easier if we go there. That is going to be our next step. I hope have to answer.
Rosa, I think you did. If anyone would like to ask any other question to Daniel or Rosa, or even or colleagues from CARTIF, please do not hesitate. This is your moment, and just open the chat and tell us if there is something you would like to know more about what they have presented to us. Otherwise, if there are no questions, which would be a pity in my opinion, I just would like to say thank you very much for participating to the second InvestCEC webinar on breaking down financial barriers. It's been really a great webinar, also to know what we are all doing in all different regions in Europe. So again, go give us a follow on our social media to keep up to date with what the InvestCEC project will continue to do. And also, of course, to register to the next thematic webinars, which are also going to be very interesting, focusing on replication and also how to make these projects more effective after their lifespan. Thank you very much, everyone, and I'm wishing you all a very nice day and hope to see you soon jumping in more of our thematic webinars. Have a great day. Bye.